Welcome, Forever Family. Once again, it's time to do another Bible study video to make disciples. And have you ever wondered if all the versions of the Bible share the same message? Well, that's what God has given us the passion to do. And how He's allowed us to do that? He created a website called www.wherescripturespeaksclearly.org, where I do the same message in up to almost 50 different versions of the Bible. There's over 2,500 complete book studies, topical teachings, and other studies on that website right now. And also, there's a Facebook page now called Meta, I guess, Parler, MeWe, YouTube, and Twitter, and it's all called Where Scripture Speaks Clearly. So, www.wherescripturespeaksclearly.org has a tagline called Passion to Make Disciples. That's what God has given us. He's given us passion to make disciples as we try to do the same message in as many versions of the Bible, to reach whoever with the gospel so they can get to a relationship with Jesus, the Messiah, the Yeshua. That's the whole purpose of doing these videos. And now, Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 through 13 from the NET Bible. A time for all events in life. Verse 1 through 13. For everything there is an appointed time, and an appointed time for every activity on earth. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot what was planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give something up as lost. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to rip and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Man is ignorant of God's timing. Verse 9. What benefit can a worker gain from his toil? I have observed the burden that God has given to people to keep them occupied. God has made everything fit beautifully in its appropriate time. But He has also placed ignorance in the human heart so that people cannot discover what God has ordained from the beginning to the end of their lives. Enjoy life in the present. Verse 12 and 13. I have concluded that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to enjoy themselves as long as they live. And also that everyone should eat and drink and find enjoyment in all his toil. For these things are a gift from God. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1 through 13 from the NET version of the Bible. So as a Christian, I'm supposed to make disciples. I'm supposed to share the gospel. So I've done my part to do that. Will you do your part? Whatever platform you happen to be watching this video on. Let the platform know if this message reached you or if you're engaged in this message and why. Leave a positive comment. What I've learned in ministry, sometimes it takes one courageous person to leave a positive comment for someone else to also leave another positive comment. And I'm actually going to help you with that. I'm going to put in the comment section some questions. The only purpose of these questions is to find out who's watching these videos so that we can reach the gospel with more people and to reach more people with the gospel as well. So that's the whole point. Now, if you want to store up treasures for yourself in heaven at any time, all you have to do is hit the share button, because whatever platform you're watching, we just use Scripture to explain Scripture. So if you hit that share button, you are doing a Great Commission, because the Great Commission is to share the gospel. So the gospel you heard here, if you hit the share button, you will get treasures in heaven for yourself just by hitting the share button. So, like a year ago, God put in my heart to make some shirts and some masks. On the shirts on both sides, it has Scripture. And on the mask, it has a picture of the bookcase of Bibles that I started this website on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these videos, if I'm able to, on the different platforms, just to get your feedback on them. And whenever God has something else He puts in my heart to do, I'm also going to do another video for that and put it on the different platforms to get you guys' opinions and feedback on them. So I've done my part of sharing the gospel. Will you do your part? Go to the platform you're watching this on and let it know if this message reached you or if you're engaged in this message and why. Leave a positive comment. Hit that share button to store up treasures for yourself in heaven. Like, share, follow, subscribe to these sites or small groups. Rate these videos, like these videos. If you get involved, it might encourage someone else to also get involved, and we can reach the gospel together. And as soon as everybody hears the gospel, decides where they want to spend eternity, guess what? We all get to go home to heaven. And some of us will hear, well done, good and faithful servant. And it could be just because you left a comment about if this message reached you, or if you engaged this message, positive comments, any type of way, or if you hit the share button. So like, share, follow, subscribe to these different sites so you can always know when there's something new. So now that you watch this video, under Where Scripture Speaks Clearly, all these sites have the same name, Where Scripture Speaks Clearly. There's a Facebook page, I guess that's called Meta now, Parler, MeWe, YouTube, and Twitter. And because it has the most content, go to www.wherescripturespeaksclearly.org, which has over 2,500 complete book studies, topical teachings, and different formats of sharing the gospel. There are some messages done in up to 50 different versions on the website. On the other platforms, maybe 30 or so. So I've done my part. Now it's time for you to do your part. Get involved in these sites. Let's share the gospel together so that everybody can hear it, and we can reach whoever with the gospel. So maybe that person, we hit that share button to it and it reaches them. That could be the last person who's waiting to hear the gospel. Because you hit that share button, you get to store up treasure for yourself in heaven, and they get to go to heaven someday. So I want to thank you for coming here today. Go to www.wherescripturespeaksclearly.org because that's the most content. And under Where Scripture Speaks Clearly, Facebook page, which is now called Meta, Parler, MeWe, YouTube, and Twitter. So goodbye for now, but I'm always adding more book studies, topic teachings, different formats, sharing the gospel. I'll see you again soon. Keep coming back. Hit that share button. See you soon.